This Sunday, our media partner, the San Jose Mercury News, will report the results of a year-long investigation into California's Dependency Court. It is a little known but critically important system that is supposed to protect children from abuse and neglect. The goal is to keep children safe and families together as long and as whenever possible. But the reality is sometimes quite different. Marquita Jackson and her boyfriend Mario have lost all parental rights to their 3-year-old son. They can't even give us permission to show you his face.
We were accused of abusing our child.
A few weeks after their son was born, he had a brain hemorrhage. A doctor suspected Mario of shaking the baby, but Mario denied it, and no criminal charges were filed. Their baby was placed with a foster parent and eventually recovered. Marquita and Mario were only allowed to see him twice a week with supervision. They fought to get him back.
I lost a job due to so many court dates.
The two went to individual counseling, couples counseling, a year-long parenting without violence class, everything their social worker required. But in the end, they lost their son, primarily because Mario would never admit hurting him.
I love my son with all my heart.
The custody decision was made here, in the little-known world of dependency court. Dependency courts step in when social workers suspect parents of child abuse or neglect. The rules are very different from criminal court. Everything is confidential, and the stakes couldn't be higher.
Parents' rights can permanently be terminated, and they can no longer legally have access to parent their children. And for children in foster care, absolutely every decision that gets made for them is made by these courts.
Karen DeSaw is a reporter with the San Jose Mercury News. She spent the last year getting to know dependency courts all over California. She got rare access to this confidential world and found an overcrowded system where critical, life-changing decisions are often made in a matter of minutes.
These lawyers are so overwhelmed with cases, and these judges are so overwhelmed with families that you get a very low level of attention. There's not enough time to meet with clients. There's not enough time to interview them and to prepare for their hearings.
Almost no one in dependency court, including Marquita and Mario, can afford lawyers, so they are provided by the court. The couple says they rarely saw their lawyer until just a few minutes before each court hearing.
It all seemed like it was going too fast, and everything was just going past us, and then everything was changing, and different lawyers, and it was just like chaotic, and we were just like, at the end, okay, by the way, you don't have your child anymore.
The law firm that represented Marquita and Mario would not speak with us on camera or talk about the case, except to say they gave the couple effective representation. Catherine Lucero is the supervising judge in Santa Clara County's dependency court.
It's a very overwhelmed, under-resourced situation.
Judge Lucero did not hear Marquita and Mario's case, but she believes the court-appointed attorneys are doing the best they can in a system where both lawyers and judges are stretched thin.
Sometimes we have up to 30 cases in a morning per courtroom.
Judge Lucero and 2 other judicial officers each handle 800 to 900 cases at a time. But she believes they still make good decisions.
If I don't think all the pieces of the puzzle are there for me, I'm not going to make a half-witted decision about the life of a child and a family.
The judge says the law is very clear. Children should be returned to their families whenever possible. But statewide, only about 36% of children in foster care go home within the first year. And the numbers are even lower for African American and Latino children, who are much more likely to stay in foster care than white kids. Andre Chapman is a juvenile justice advocate who runs programs for at-risk youth. He believes the system is biased against low-income families and people of color. Chapman has followed Mario and Marquita's case closely and believes dependency court let them down.
The big issue at the end of the day is you have to say, do we feel as a society that people that are considered low income should not have the same level of representation as we consider people that have the resources?
Marquita and Mario are still hoping that somehow they'll get their baby back. But for now, all they have is pictures.
It's not right.
A Blue Ribbon Commission on California foster care is wrapping up a 2-year investigation. Its recommendations for reforms will be released in the next few weeks. Now, on Sunday, the San Jose Mercury News will begin its 3-part series on dependency court. including extensive interviews with people inside the system desperate for change. And if you can't wait until Sunday, you can read Part 1 at mercurynews.com after 7 o'clock tonight.